Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and I'm now in Rangeley, Colorado, a town of a population around 2,300, I think. And surprisingly, they have an automobile museum. It's a fairly new museum. It was open to the public in 2016. And I hear they have a lot more cars in storage in a warehouse, and they change them out from time to time. So this should be interesting. Let's go in and take a look at the museum. Right out front here, they have a 4-cylinder Pierce Arrow. I think it's what that means. Well, now let's go in and look at the cars. Here's an information timeline of the automobile industry, 1909 to 1992. So everything is in this one big room. I'm going to go down the line for you, show you what they've got, starting with the orange one here. That's a Ford, and this red one is a Chevrolet station wagon. It says Nomad here. I like that hatchback, and they had to leave the fins on. Well, folks, should I take my clothes off? Now, I'm really surprised that there are no tags here, anything saying what the make, model, and year is. In fact, this one doesn't even have a factory name stamped on it. That's a convertible, but I have no idea what make it is. Now this white one is a Thunderbird. Studebaker Commander, and I'm not going to attempt to guess the years. In fact, I will leave that up to you to do. Now this is a really nice station wagon. That's a Ford, and this one is a Volkswagen. In fact, the other yellow one I think may be a Volkswagen as well. Kind of looks like it. And this is very convertible. Now this purple one does have a tag that tells you what it is. So some have the tags and some don't. It's a 31 Franklin, but this one has nothing on it whatsoever to indicate what make it is. It has a rumble seat and a golf bag holder. Don't see any golf bag holders on cars anymore. This one is totally unidentified. And this one, 23 Mercer, also with a rumble seat. 32 Ford Roadster, 1930 Lincoln, and those are always such luxury cars from the beginning to the end. 31 Cord, another company that didn't last very long. Now look how colorful this Packard is. 28 Cadillac convertible. And here is a 29 Chrysler. I wonder how people like riding in the rumble seats. So many of these cars have the rumble seats. And look at that trunk mounted back here. It's a 31 Studebaker. And look at those lights out front. It's a 1930 Pierce. And look how they attached this baggage on the rear. And this is not the front of the car. The back looks like a front. It's a 1929 Stutz. And what's kind of surprising to me is that this 6-cylinder only has 85 horsepower. And on this red pickup truck, the only label on it is V8. 1930 LaSalle. From the Detroit Electric Company. They certainly have a different look to them. Skelly gasoline, never heard of it. This is the F100 Ford custom cab. Oh, I really like the color. This is a Chevrolet pickup, but it doesn't have a tag. And this is an Army Jeep, as it says here. And there's his little buddy. And where are you going to take that Jeep? I imagine you are going to need a water jug and a spare tire. They got a 27 Model T. That's a convertible. And this little guy is called a Bantam. And here's a model I've never heard of. I don't think I've seen before in a museum. It's a Woods Mobilette. It's a two-seater, but front and back instead of side by side. Now this black one and this orange-green one do not have any kind of sign on it at all saying what it is. I wonder if it's a total custom made, this one. And this one is a 22 Moon Chummy Roadster, and it says the poor man's Rolls Royce. I don't see how that resembles a Rolls Royce. Here's a good sized V8 engine, and notice how back in those days they made a lot of free space around it to work on. And that's one of my favorite cars, a Ford El Camino. I wish I knew what year it was. And they have several motorbikes in the middle here. This is a Cushman scooter, a 1930 Harley, $340. Wow. It's one of the real early Indians. And this one, the make is Pope. It says right there, with a very small engine. And I don't recall seeing a Crocker motorcycle. This has a lot of reading about it. If you're interested, just pause the video if you can read that. This is an Excelsior. I've seen a lot of Excelsiors in museums with the twin engine, V-twin. This says Kleino. I never heard of that. And it has a built-on sidecar. Here's another old Harley. And take a look at this guy. That's an Indian with a very small engine, with the top of it going up the seat. The seat's mounted on the engine, it looks like. And this, I think you might want a seatbelt riding on that. Wow, that is a very rare item. Well, now back to the cars. 1935 Brewster. 1930 Cadillac. This must be a very rare brand. I don't recall seeing a Minerva brand in any museums. And this had an interesting brand name, Locomobile. And take a close look at the engine compartment there. McFarlane, another rare brand. And guess what, folks? This is the last car, and I have showed you every single vehicle they have in this room. There's no tag or even a manufacturer's name on it. I wonder if maybe the owner of the museum didn't know what brand it is. Maybe you recognize this. Well, folks, hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know. Good day.